Want to get to some really good news, though. And this, I hope all of you had a chance to watch the interview with Elon Musk and Donald Trump. It was on last night on X, and it's going to be, I think, rebroadcast all over the place today. There's probably going to be 1 billion people around the world watch this interview, and perhaps more. It's already going through the stratosphere. And this is because people are sick to death of these small-minded, incompetent little pipsqueaks like Justin Trudeau and Keir Starmer and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris taking our rights away, taking our free speech away. And they want somebody like Elon Musk. I know he has his faults. I know he's not perfect. I know he's sometimes not done the right thing. But in buying X, he did the right thing. And he's made that the freest social media platform out there. And for him to endorse Donald Trump is significant. It's highly significant. And for the interview last night, I think the best part that came out of this, Elon Musk volunteered to serve on a government efficiency committee to rein in wasteful spending if Trump is elected. That alone is a good reason for Donald Trump to be elected. It's incredibly important. Now, why is that important? Because finally somebody's saying, we've got to keep an eye. We've got to register how these bureaucrats are spending your money.
The election's coming up, and the people want to hear about the economy and the fact that they can't buy groceries because they don't have enough money to buy groceries. The inflation has killed them. Food prices are up 50, 60, even 100% in some cases. And this stupid administration allowed this to happen, and it's a shame. And that's the thing that people most care about, in my opinion. They care about the border a lot. And we discussed the border at great length. It's nice to have a forum like this where I can discuss something at length. And by the way, you think Biden could do this interview? Do you think that Kamala could do this interview? They would take a pass on you.
No, they could not.
So they don't need Elon. They don't need Elon screaming out questions. It's pretty sad when you think that somebody that does this for a living can't answer a question or is afraid to do an interview. And in her case, with a very friendly interview, she's got all friendly interviewers. It's pretty sad.
Yes, absolutely.
But the big thing now is the economy, Elon.
Yeah.
And as much as
Yeah.
I mean, I view nuclear as the single most important thing, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't understand that. But it doesn't have to. If I understand it, that's all you need. Because if I was president, you're not going to have that kind of a problem. But the thing that they really is making them angry is what Kamala and Biden have allowed to happen to the economy. It's a disaster with inflation. The inflation, it doesn't matter what you make. The inflation is eating you alive. If you're a worker or if you're just a middle income person, you can't afford. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, people were saving a lot of money. Today, they're using all their money and borrowing money just to live. It's a horrible thing that's happening. And we'll end that quickly.
Well, I think a lot of a lot of people just don't understand where inflation comes from. Inflation comes from government overspending because the checks never bounce when it's written by the government. So if the government spends far more than it brings in, that increases the money supply. And if the money supply increases faster than the rate of goods and services, that's inflation. So really, we need to have we need to reduce our government spending. And we need to re-examine. I think we need like a government efficiency commission to say like, hey, where are we spending money that's sensible? Where is it not sensible? And we need to live within our means. We're currently adding, I think, $1 trillion to the deficit roughly every 100 days.
That's right.
And the interest payments on the national debt have now exceeded the defense budget. It's on the order of $1 trillion.
It's interest,
and it keeps growing.
I rebuilt our military, largely rebuilt our military. Did a great job on it, which was so important. We had jets, we had fighters that were, and bombers that were 70 years old. And we did a great job in that. Then we gave 85 billion of it back to Afghanistan, if you can believe it. We gave them 85 billion. They're one of the largest sellers of military equipment in the world. They're selling what we gave them. That was one of the most embarrassing days in the history of our country. But if you think about, let's go back to the economy. We have to bring energy prices down. Energy started at the price of gasoline. Now your cars don't require too much gasoline, so you have a good, and you do make a great product. I have to say, I have to be honest with you.
Thank
That
you.
doesn't mean everybody should have an electric car, but these are minor details. But your product is incredible. But the
Thank you.
gasoline, Elon, is the cost of energy. Not only gasoline, it's the cost of heating your house and cooling your house. That has
Sure.
to come down. It's gone up 100%, 150, and 200%, and that has to come down. When that comes down, and we're going to
Yeah.
drill, baby, drill. They stopped drilling, and then they went back to drilling because they went back to the Trump policy. But if they won the day after they get into office, this country will go out of business because they're going to go to an energy policy that's not sustainable, wind and different things. You're not going to have anything.
Yeah.
And I know you're a big fan of the AI, and I have to say
Yeah.
that AI, and this is shocking to me, but AI requires twice the energy that the country already produces for everything. So you're going to have to build. We're going to have to build a lot of energy if our country will be competitive with China, because that's our primary competitor for this on the AI. You're going to
Sure.
need a lot of
Well, I mean,
electricity. You're going to need tremendous
yeah.
electricity, like almost double what we produce now for the whole country, if you can believe it.
Sure. Well, just going, back to this, like this basic thing, which that people try to make it sound complicated, but it's not. But inflation is caused by government
Right.
overspending. Would you agree that we need to take a look at government spending
Yes.
and have perhaps a government efficiency commission that just tries to make the spending sensible and so that the country lives within its means, just like a
The
person does?
waste is incredible, and nobody
It is.
negotiates prices.
So on Canada, we've got Justin Trudeau spending billions of dollars on so-called investments that his friends are benefiting from. We have Elon Musk saying we've got to rein in this government spending because it is absolutely ludicrous. We don't even know why it's being spent half the time on infrastructure projects that are not infrastructure projects. That's been the experience in the United States. It is absolutely insane. And of course, they want to keep it that way. But that, to me, was the most significant part of this interview, is Elon Musk even talking about an efficiency committee. Because believe me, what's happening in the United States right now, the mainstream media wants Kamala Harris to win desperately. They want a continuation of the Biden-Harris regime. They want this to happen. This is why Kamala Harris, who was the most unpopular vice president in history, is now being presented as an economic genius. Yet she appears to be an extra from that movie Clueless, if you recall that. She would have been just perfectly at home in that milieu. This is somebody who couldn't put a sentence together, who said, well, yeah, let's talk about inflation. I know what inflation is. It's when you go to the store and the price of butter is higher than it was last week. It's when you go to the gas station and the price of gas is higher than it was a week ago. Yeah, she really understands inflation, but she had no conception about what to do about it. Maybe it had something to do with the trillions of dollars the Biden administration flooded the economy with, spending money on their friends. Maybe that fueled inflation. Maybe Kamala Harris was part of that problem. Maybe she fueled inflation. But no, now suddenly, let's be honest about it. There's inflation out there. Yeah, that's her answer to inflation, is to recognize it exists. That's how insane this is. So, my God, I know Americans are going to see through this charade, this mirage that the mainstream media is creating, that Kamala Harris somehow has something to offer. She has nothing to offer except word salads, nothing to offer except the same silly phrases that she repeats endlessly every time she has an opportunity. Is she attracting huge crowds? I don't believe it. No, I don't believe it for a minute. I think it's completely manufactured. I think it's artificial intelligence doing this. I think this is about creating a false narrative so people will actually consider voting and creating more disaster. This is all about the globalists taking over. That's why the UK is going towards civil war. That's why Canada is disintegrating under Justin Trudeau. And that's why the United States let in up to 40 million illegals under Joe Biden. It's about disintegrating national borders, about disintegrating national economies, about destroying nations. so the globalists can pick up the pieces and say, we're in charge. We can restore order. We can save the situation for you. It's all up to us. Thank you for watching this episode of Stand on Guard and being a part of the Krayden's Right channel. If you've watched this episode to this point, you've watched it all. And that's really important for a small station like this. We always say, subscribe, hit the bell, be a part of the Krayden resistance. Resolve to resist. That's what we're doing. And if you become a subscriber, if you're a supporter of this station or a member through Substack, through YouTube, and now you can be a local as well, that's so important to us because I couldn't do this without you. I made a decision to become an independent journalist about a year ago because I wanted to bring all of my experience in the military, in journalism, to you. I don't promise anything I can't deliver. I don't offer clickbait. I offer truth. The truth is out there, and it's my job to bring that truth to light and to you. Thanks for being a part of the Krayden's Right resistance, and we'll see you again soon. So we are in a very precarious position in this country. We need a political change, but we also need to resolve to resist.